that Steve Talbot is going to show you in KD Country tonight. He is a Cape Crusader in his prime who may be just a cut above the rest.
It's a quiet morning at the Swissvale market, but the people who've been through this before are expecting it to happen again.
He ought to be here soon.
It's not a good time to turn your back.
Ivan, I think he's coming.
Joe Paradise, alias the Meat Man. He took a second mortgage on his house to buy the Swissvale market 2 years ago. People say his mind started to snap shortly after that.
Another piece of meat for delivery! I love the meat business!
I love this boy of mine. He's a good boy.
Yes, there is the fear Joe's condition is hereditary. You see, Joe's dad's a butcher. What'll kids think about this superhero who wears his name on the inside of his cape?
It's a good guy image, and it'll stay a good guy image as long as I got good meat. Good guy image, good meat.
Image? Why, the paint's falling off your cape.
Well, the hat and the goggles have always been the same, but we went out and spent $10 on the suit.
It wasn't long before Meat Man had instilled a certain pride in his employees.
He's got the meat that's hard to beat. Meat Man's down on Noble Street. Yeah!
Meat Man's apparent madness, he says, grew out of the high cost of television advertising. Unable to afford it, he took to the streets to deliver his meat and deliver his message.
Tom, we're going down to see Mrs. Jennings' dad. We'll be down in 2 shakes of a lamb tail. Let's go! Hey! I can go to Rankin. I can go to Homewood. I can go to Wilkinsburg. I can go to Homestead. I can go to Penn Hills. I can go to East Hills. I can go anywhere I want to. And normally people don't bother the Meat Man. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. Meat Man's here!
While you may think he's crazy, Meat Man's customers are crazy about his promotion.
Here's your free pound of sausage since Meat Man delivered it.
Back in the car for Meat Man's last delivery of the day, and some insight into how Meat Man evolved.
When my dad started out, he called me Hot Dog. Then as I grew a little older, I became Beef Patty. Then as I grew a little older and got more experience, I became Chuck Roast. Then to Pork Chop. Then to the ultimate Meat Man!
Chip off the old block.
But once at the last destination, a surprise.
All right, Steve. You're going in for this one.
I don't know if I can do this, Joe.
Don't be scared, Steve.
What is it I'm supposed to think again?
Think meat!
And what am I supposed to sell them on?
Free delivery, Steve, remember!
I'm ready, Joe!
Go! Go, 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 go! You forgot the meat!
Traveling through Swissvale in KD Country, I'm Steve Talbot.
Oh, my goodness. That is it for this edition of Eyewitness News.
Our next news tonight at 11. Now stay tuned for the live lottery drawing, followed by the CBS Evening News.
For all of us here at Eyewitness News, last night on KD Country, and he turned out to be a real ham. The Meat Man turned out to be such popular fare that Steve Talbot went back to Swissvale for more. But this story's no rehash.
B94 FM, where there's always variety in the music.
95 with Kuna Banana, and before we go, we have to say hello to Mr. Meat.
That's right.
Mr. Meat was on the Channel 2 News last night at, 6 or just before 7 o'clock. This guy is hilarious.
Maybe we can get Mr. Meat on the show here.
I'd like to have Mr. Meat on the Kuna Banana Show.
Morning radio stations were abuzz over the unknown meat master who dropped Patty Burns and Ray Tannehill to their respective funny bones last night.
Oh, my goodness. The princess very seldom breaks up. She is not an easy breakup, but last night she lost it completely. I lost it completely. We almost didn't get off the air on time.
Meanwhile, across town, the meat man was still reveling over the carnage he'd created.
We had Patty Burns. She was howling.
It wasn't long before Meat Man learned Quinn and Banana were wanting him as a guest on their morning show. And he responded as only the Meat Man can.
Yeah, Meat Man called us, and as I picked up the phone, all I could hear was, Meat Man, Meat Man, Quinn and Banana.
Meat's version of that conversation differs widely.
Banana and Dawn, come on down, baby. We got the meat for you.
Had Mr. Man deliberately messed up the names of the popular morning team as retribution for calling him Mr. Meat? Well, things were happening so quickly for Meat Man, he had little time to worry about it.
Bye-bye. Swissville Market. Yes. Yes, you got the Meat Man.
Our phone hasn't stopped from the time this was shown last night. I don't know what's going to happen. I think the phone company's going to come out here and charge us extra for the phone bill.
My mother-in-law called me. Catch that one. She don't call me. She calls my wife. She called me the Meat Man.
As the afternoon wore on, people continued to file through the Swissvale market, hoping to get a glimpse of the caped capon cutter.
He's a young entrepreneur. He's enthused about his business, but he doesn't take himself too seriously, and that's what was so great about him. He is really a star.
You could see the confidence growing in Meat Man.
I'm going to buy a new cape. I got to buy a new cape. This one, look at, there's nothing on it. I can't even say the name.
More and more orders for meat were coming in by phone. By late afternoon, Quinn and Banana acted. A trophy in Meat Man's honor was carefully unveiled at the B94 studios.
This is... Oh, jeez. We're sorry, Meat Man. But we won't get you another one either.
He deserves better than that.
I don't think so.
No.
Banana and Jim felt too humbled to make the presentation. It was up to me to do the honors.
It's my pleasure, courtesy of Banana Dawn and Jim Quinn, to present you with the first annual Mr. Happy Weenie Award.
Obviously touched by the gesture, Meat's ego began to grow.
He wants to put that meat on television.
Trophies, orders, television advertising weren't enough for the man who used to go by the name Joe Paradise.
We're hoping to go nationwide.
In just 24 hours, everything had gone great for the Meat Man, but not for everyone else.
Why did you forget the meat?
You forgot the meat. When's he ever gonna learn?
Reliving my travel through Swissvale in KD country, I'm Steve Talbot.
Sure, we laugh. Meat will be sitting up here doing the news, and you and I'll be out cutting meat.
I think we created a monster.
Do you think meat has both oars in the water? That is it for this edition of Eyewitness News.
May be right on that one, Bob. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, thanks.
Well, finally tonight, the Meat Man is turning green. No, that doesn't mean the Cape cut-up is getting spoiled rotten. It means he's getting a new green get-up for tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day parade in downtown Pittsburgh. We first met Meat on Wednesday on KD Country, where he showed us how he's hamming it up in his meat delivery business by wearing his helmet and his black cape. Well, since then, meat has become a household word.
I can go to Homestead. I can go to Penn Hills. I can go to East Hills. I can go anywhere. Meat Man!
Well, Meat Man's bought a new green cape, which he'll wear in the St. Patty's Day parade with the Swissvale Fire Department to help collect money for a kidney transplant fund. And, of course, our own Patty and Bill Burns will be there as the parade's grand marshals. And Patty told me she is very proud and honored to have been selected as one of the parade's grand marshals. And she said she hopes that the organizers of that St. Patty's Day parade invite her back year after year. And that